Welcome back to part two. If you remember in part one, when I was interviewing Karl Akinlami, we were talking about how he'd got on over this last year since he'd last been on Tip TV. And in fact, what he'd done is moved away from intensive day trading to a more settled way of day trading and a much more swing trading, which he's found has been much more profitable for him. Karl, welcome back.
Hi.
Okay, so Karl, tell us a little bit now about some of the measures that you've undertaken in order to change your trading around to become more profitable. What sorts of things have you done? I know you've done a lot of backtesting work.
Yeah, so I've done lots of backtesting. I think as we just discussed, I use lower position sizes now and I trade less.
So you trade smaller?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I take less trades, but I make more. I've done a lot of backtesting over the last year, thousands of hours probably, to give myself confidence again in the trading and also to learn new strategies and that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if it's okay if I throw some stats at you.
Yeah, sure.
That's fine. I mainly use obviously the easy trader strategies.
See, it's good, always good having someone on like Karl because he gives me a plug.
Yeah, that's it. You can pay me for that later.
Yeah, go on.
So I use mainly momentum and the bands.
Okay.
From the easy trader strategies, right. And as I say, I use 15-minute, 30-minute charts, and I'll take some trades off hourly charts so that they don't come along too often. And what I'm finding is I have a win rate of around 53%,
okay.
With a risk to reward of 1 to 2. Yep. So for every 10 pips I risk, I'll make 20 on the other side.
Okay, so this is interesting because lots of traders, and especially newer traders, and probably yourself when you started, I remember you doing testing even when you started, you're always looking at win rates of 70% and the likes, because newer traders want to be right more often. Yeah. But what you've found is that actually being right less often is actually more profitable for you, yes?
Absolutely. I've gone completely the other way. I think last time I was on here, we were talking about a strategy, or maybe another video, we were talking about a strategy of risking 10 pips to make 5.
Yeah.
And it had a win rate of like 85% or something like that. But I'm finding that actually by flipping that around and having a bigger risk to reward, but a lower win rate, I'm actually making more.
Yep. Okay.
That's
with your intraday trading.
Yep.
What about your swing trading, some of the DST type stuff you've got some stats on as well?
Yeah, I mean the swing trading is new to me. I've only been doing it for a few months now. Yep. So I'm still kind of finding my feet with that. But in these few months, again, I don't want to get complacent, but it's been very good. It's been a very good few months on the swing trading. And on the DST specifically, which I have figures on, which again, easy trader strategy, there was a win rate of 66%. And a risk to reward of 1 to 1.9.
Right, so again, pretty much a risk reward of risking 1 to make practically 2 again. So how does that make you feel when you're taking that type of trade? So you're wrong, let's say, for argument's sake, 40% of the time. That doesn't matter. Yeah. You're still right 60% of the time. But how does that make you feel when you do have losers when you're trading with a strategy like that?
Now I don't care. I don't care anymore because I mean DST is one setup, but I do MBT setups as well, and that's usually 1 to 3, 1 to 4, 1 to 5 risk reward.
Right.
So losing a few in a row doesn't matter. Eventually you'll win.
Yep.
And eventually as well, I find it tends to come in streaks, so you'll have 2 or 3 winners in a row.
Yep.
And if you have 2 or 3 of those, it doesn't matter if you've lost the previous 7. Not that that's ever happened to me, but if you had...
Statistically, it will at some point, I guess.
Yeah, probably. But it won't matter anyway, because you can make up for it with such a small number of trades. Yeah,
okay. And so by doing the analysis and by doing the testing, it's given you confidence in your strategies.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Not to mention I'm a bit of a geek, so I just like doing it. But
yeah, okay. Because a lot of traders out there, let's be honest, don't like doing all of that kind of work.
Yeah.
But sometimes you've just got to do some of the...
You have to do it,
dirty work, and you've got to roll your sleeves up and just get on with it.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's talk about mindset and psychology, because I know you've worked on that as well, because we've talked about this before, and you know that I'm big on mindset. And you didn't realise even a year ago just how important mindset was. What steps did you take since the last interview?
I realised I was paying lip service to mindset. Because I was saying, it's really important. You got to have your mind right and all that kind of stuff. But I hadn't read a book on trading psychology. I hadn't done any research on all the research I was doing. All the back testing was all to do with strategies, nothing to do with mindset. So my focus very much switched from strategy to mindset, and I guess I've read 7 or 8 books on trading psychology in the last year, which have really helped. And we've had every discussion. I think probably from your point of view, our discussions went very much from strategic stuff to mindset stuff and that kind of thing. So it's just, I suppose, being mindful of it and focusing on it, really focusing on it, as opposed to just paying lip service to it, has been what's helped me a lot in the last year.
Right, okay. Yeah, because like a lot of the time you know the things, but they're just words when you're hearing about this mindset stuff.
Yeah.
But like you say, being really mindful.
Yeah.
Okay.
Same as I know I should only risk 1% per trade.
Yes.
You know, there's a difference between knowing that and then what you actually do.
Enacting it.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, is there anything else that you'd like to mention there as regards to your work or?
Only that I'd done a bit more back testing on momentum and the bands.
Oh yeah.
Well, I've done back testing on a lot of different things over the last year.
Yeah.
So it's not just been easy trader strategies. I've done back testing on lots of different things I find on Forex strategy, my own work and all that kind of thing. And what I find is adding momentum and the easy trader bands to any strategy, actually, and you'll like this one, Charlie, actually on average increases the win rate by around 16%.
By incorporating some of those things.
By incorporating some of those things. So using Confluence to combine what I already know from the course to other strategies is also something that really helps and gives me a wide range of strategies I can use. Well,
hopefully they don't get watered down by you mentioning all this and more people using them. But yeah, it's well, I know what you mean. But yeah, that's really good. So you've sorted out your mindset, but obviously that's an ever ongoing process.
Yeah, absolutely.
And obviously, statistically, I think what's happened is you were 6 months in when I pulled you into the Tip TV studio before. 6 months into your trading, you were very new. I didn't know where we were going to get going. I didn't know if you were going to be coming back in a year's time. It's great to have you back on the show and see how you've developed as a trader. And you have developed. That's the most important thing. What would be probably quite good was see where you are in maybe in another year's time. I know you're talking about in a few years' time working for a fund or something like that. You wouldn't mind doing something like that if you can build your track record up, which you're building at the moment. So that's all great news anyway. So
I'm happy to do that. I watch this space. I mean, I'm not close to where I want to be yet.
No.
It's still a work in progress. I feel like I'm so far ahead of where I was, but I still have a long way to go. So
don't we all? Don't we all? We never stop learning. On that note, Karl Akinlami, thanks ever so much for coming on the show.
Thank you.
My name's Charlie Burton. Stay safe out there.